Hey everyone again, this is still GregGT and this is a second part of our little video series where we use GTOBase GTO Trainer to fight unbeatable solver. If you haven't seen the first part, you should definitely start there. The link will appear right now and have fun watching. Deuces, half pot, I believe this one goes straight to the muck. Yeah, I think we just fold it. This is not a pleasant spot at all, and we can call sometimes probably to turn this hand into a bluff in the future. Like if 8 comes, for example, and he checks, and then we can bluff our deuces. But on average, I think we can just fold it, especially against human. Although, on the other hand, human would probably fold a lot more against our bluffs. If a 10 comes, for example, solver will still call some overpairs, but a human player would probably fold all of those. But anyhow, this spot is not pleasant at all. 4-5 of clubs. At first glance, nice hand to bet. We have 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush. And yeah, I think we can bet small, like 2-13. This one is intuitive. We definitely don't want to bet big, so it's either min bet or 2.13. Although maybe we still want to bet big here, I don't know. But I prefer option number 2. Okay, bet 2.13. Well, yeah, we can use this sizing, but the bigger one is preferred, as we see. Well, probably because we have a decent range advantage in this spot and we want to bet bigger with our range overall. We put pressure on his pocket pairs and so on. Ace-9 he folds even to a smaller bet, but yeah, I'm still very interested in what are we actually achieving by betting bigger, like 2/3 of the pot, or 50% pot. Okay, if we bet a third pot, he calls all of those hands. But if we bet half pot, yeah, he begins to fold all of those pocket pairs without a spade in it. So yeah, we fold out those hands, we fold out hands like ace-9 more, even with spade. Queen-8 of clubs, he probably calls against a third pot bet. No, it's fold against a smaller bet as well. But pocket pairs is enough of an argument to bet bigger. King-10, I think we want to bet as well, and I prefer bet number 2. Well, maybe we want to bet bigger, but let's go with the 2.13. Oh, we also check a lot. Well, betting is not a mistake here, but yeah, we check more. Anyhow, we don't make much money in those spots because we don't see them very often. And in the end of the day, all the options are very close in EVs, and there is no difference basically what options we choose. We just have to understand the logic behind it. And here, for example, we have to understand that we actually check a lot in this spot. We check 69% with our range, we check 83% with this hand, but we went with the bet, he calls, and I think we should bet again in this turn card. We have overcards to his pocket pairs, and we will fold a lot of his pocket pairs anyway with our second barrel. 1072, I think 1072 is a bit too much. I'd bet 7.5 here, but maybe you're right. Some calling station we get here, doesn't want to fold. And yeah, we check a lot again on the turn, and we use both b75 and pot bet here. Anyway, I think we should give up on the river. 10 of clubs is a bet card to bluff here, and king is basically useless. We kinda block ace-king combos, but he doesn't have any. Well, at least it seems like it. On the other hand, if he bluff catches hands like king-jack, then we block those, and this is good. So yeah, it's hard to tell whether we should bluff or not. I think queen-10 is a better option because he definitely has those ace-queen combos. so it's more important to block queen. Yeah, let's go for check. Okay, oh, we are wrong here. We have to bluff here every time. Well, that was unexpected. But why? Why does he want to bluff with 10 of clubs? And it's not a close spot, see? It's a clear bluff. The EV difference is there, we want to bet half pot. Okay, let's try to figure this one out. And I don't get it, what happened eventually? We made a mistake, so there was no follow-up action from the opponent. Alright. Okay, here is our range, and we actually do bluff King 10 with the 10 of clubs a lot, but what do we achieve by bluffing those? Oh yeah, we block King Jack. This is one of his main calling hands, and blocking this, of course, very good. And we also don't block Queen Jack, which he folds a lot, but we block King Jack, which he calls a lot. He also calls Jack 10 of clubs a lot, so 10 of clubs is actually a fine blocker. And it seems that there are not so many busted flush draws in his range. Queen 10 of clubs, King 10 of clubs, and that's it basically. That's all the hands that we block. Oh, 10-9 of clubs as well. 3 combos total. But there's more offsuit combos of King Jack in his range, and we want to block all of those when we bluff. Someone in chat says that we bluff only because there's an ace on board and everything else is irrelevant. Yeah, just trying to exploit him, right? Alright, keep fighting. Pocket sixes, and I like checking here. We have an underpair around 7. I check a lot here, close to 100%. And I've made a mistake again. Well, not a mistake, we can check here, but we also bet a lot. Well, cool. When we play against a big blind, we can often check hands like this. But against the hijack, we bet those, which is interesting. Yeah, that's quite cool. Alright, eventually we checked, and we have a king on the turn, and I don't think we have any reasons to bet here. Because we have force pair and we really don't want to face a check raise, so we want to realize our equity with our spade. So yeah, I would definitely prefer checking here. And again, it's not a pure check, we want to bet sometimes with this hand. We use a pot bet as our main sizing, and probably we want to fold out hands like 8s, 9s and 10s. Cool. Yeah, most likely we will try to fold out 8s, 9s and 10s, but let's see. Let's check out what we actually achieve by betting this. So king comes on the turn, he checks again, and we bet pot. Yeah, he folds 10s, 9s, 8s, also 6s. We want to fold out splits as well, and some jack-x hands. So yeah, this is a big one. But then again, it's a pot bet, right? Imagine you have like jack 10 without a spade, and you face a pot bet on the turn. We also fold out ace-queen combos without a spade. It has like 6, oh no, not 6, 10 outs actually against our hand. 6 overcard outs and 4 gut shot outs. We beat this hand, yes, but it's still nice to make him fold it. Yeah, really cool. This solver guy is very sneaky, very sneaky. Someone in the chat says we don't want to bet 6s without a spade. You think so? Let's see. Yeah, without a spade. Oh, wait a second. This is his calling range. We want to see our betting range. Yeah, we don't bet without a spade at all, but I don't get it. We still fold those same hands, right? Well, probably the EV is just a little better with a spade. We still can profitably bet 6s without a spade, but it's just a little better with a spade, so we check the other ones. On top of that, we bet big in the end of the day, and well, I mean, we don't have to call check raise with 6s, I believe, and we don't get a lot of check raises against this sizing. But if we get, then I think we fold 6s, or no, we call it. Well, that's some wild stuff right there. We bet pot and we call a mean raise with 6s. Someone in chat says we can suck out against some queens that he checked. Yeah, We have some equity, so in case our bluff doesn't work and he calls, we still have opportunity to suck out on him and eventually beat some of his pairs. Or if he check raises, we have enough equity to make a break-even call. Here I don't like betting as well. We beat all of his ace-x hands basically with ace-9, and we don't want to fold out hands like ace-7 of spades. And I don't believe we can fold out anything that is better than our hand, well, maybe over a few streets of betting. So yeah, I prefer check. Yeah, heavy check here, 95%. And on the turn we get an 8. Again, I don't see any reasons to bet here. We can fold out maybe some 7, 6s, 5s, but we definitely do not want to face a check raise. Ace king, ace queen, we can only make him fold over a few streets of betting. Yeah, I think check is a viable option. 1.94. What do we achieve by betting this small? We fold out hands like ace-5. I don't think we can fold out 7s or 6s with this sizing. Ace king, ace queen, he will never fold against this, so I think it's either a big bet or check. Yeah, we either check or bet full pot to apply a lot of pressure and to generate maximum fold equity. And against this small bet on the river, we definitely want to raise, but how much? 6 or 13 all in would probably be too much, I think. So yeah, one of those two. Hijack versus... yeah, this is a hijack versus button spot. You can see positions over here. On the left you see the ranges. And I think 13 is a bit greedy. Pot bet, someone says in chat. Yeah, I think pot bet is better. Okay, we do raise, but we actually prefer 13. What a greedy pick, as Invoker says his cheeks are blushing with greed. Well, probably we get enough value from some 2-pair combos. Let's see. We bet 13. What does he call? King, queen, I don't think a human player would call this wide. King, jack with a blocker to a straight, ace, jack with a blocker to ace. But what does he block with this? But yeah, this is the range he uses to call, and again, against a human player who would most likely call much tighter, I think we should raise a smaller. And what a greedy block bet from him, third pair on a 4 straight board. Well, probably it is because our range is quite capped here. We played check, 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 so we have a lot of 6s, 5s, ace-3 suited and so on. And with what do we pay off here? Someone in chat asks what he does with king 9. Well, okay, let's see how he plays it. Well, he doesn't have almost any of those. I think he bets, yeah, he probably bets those hands on turn. And if you ask how we play, king 9 suited, pretty much the same, raise 13. And our small raising range is basically built around 2-pair combos. So we small raise 2 pairs against his block bet. And with a strong combo like set or straight, we raise more. But yeah, what's really interesting to me is what he gets value from when he bets block bets with ace-10. Ace-queen we don't care, ace-jack as well, hands like king-10, and all of those hands, all of those weak pairs, yeah, 7s to 4s and king-10. Well, of course you don't want to play like this against a real opponent. No one will call anything close to what solver does, so you only play like this against maybe the toughest opposition or against a solver. 10-9, what a strong hand we got here, but I don't really like raising. What do we do if he shoves? We have to call 40 BBs, even with our gut shot, I don't really like it. So yeah, I prefer calling, and this is basically a pure call. And we actually never raise here with our range. We either call 70% or fold the rest of it. And on turn, I think we want to bet, and third pot seems intuitive. Betting bigger seems a bit greedy to me, so we either check or bet small. Well, no. I'm totally wrong again. So what options do we have? Check, B50, B75, and even pot bet. Looks quite thin, right? Oh, someone asks about folding. I said about folding. I didn't say that we want to fold this hand. I said that we fold 30% with our range. You see, this first line is what we do with our hand, and this second line is what we do with our range. And we fold 30% of hands with our range. So with all the range that we arrive here on button, we call 70% and fold 30%. So we have 30% of bad hands we want to fold. But we never raise, so if we have a set of sixes, for example, we only call, and we call with any good hand. And why he bets so big on the turn? I believe he gets some value from big heart hands, like ace-queen of hearts, for example. And probably this is the whole reason behind betting full pot here on this turn. He bets spot 18% of the time. But definitely this bet that I picked is way too small. Now I want to see how he reacts to our pot bet on turn. How do we benefit from pot betting? So we bet 12. What next? Yeah, we get those calls from ace 9 of hearts, ace 8 of hearts, ace 7 of hearts, ace 5 of hearts. And we're only looking for hands worse than 9-10. 9-8 here, 9-8 of spades, 9-8 of clubs. What else? 7-6. Oh, we don't beat 7-6 actually. But yeah, anyway, this is quite greedy. And also, if we bet 9-10 of hearts on turn, we fold out king-jack combos. And this is very cool.